CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Qualius. I'm here with Mike Molyneux. No Marv is on. This week, we record on Tuesdays. Marv's got a busy schedule on Tuesday because the Patriots played Monday night this week, which, by the way, I'm still surprised that the Patriots played this game.
Very shocking. But hey, the NFL will do anything to squeeze games out and make money, man.
The NFL said, we don't give a damn about this pandemic. It's really been, it's been their mantra since the start of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
They don't give a damn about this thing. They didn't even have
no matter what.
Everybody, like all the other leagues, had backup plans. Like, okay, well, if this happens, this happens. The NFL was like, COVID doesn't matter. We'll test you. Okay, fine. But you get it? You're still going to end up playing this game at some point.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman, Monday night. Not great. Not great. 34 years old now. He dropped 2 balls last night. One of those balls ended up in a Chiefs defender's hand. Ended up as a pick six. And it wasn't a bad throw by any means. It was right in his hands. It's a pass that you have to catch. And that was his second drop ball of the night. Second bad drop ball of the night. And, I mean, he should have had a third, right? That's not even counting the one that bounced off his hands and ended up in Gunner's hands. That's not even counting that one.
It's getting bad for him, man.
So that now equals 11 total dropped passes since the start of last season, which is the most in that span. So, Mike, just thinking about that question there, 34 years old, he's taken a beating over his career with the way that he's played. Is Julian Edelman still a reliable weapon for Cam Newton and the Patriots moving forward this season? And honestly, I kind of want to throw this in too, because I thought about this last night watching, specifically after the pick six. Is this Jules' last season in the NFL? What do you think?
I think it's really wrapping up for Julian Edelman's career, especially in New England. I think the time is really coming to an end. And you know what? My take on it really is, look, I understand, again, 34 years old is a lot older for a receiver, but again, in these day and age, you can be 34 and still play a hell of a game because guys are finding different ways to stay fresh, stay hungry, keep their bodies in good shape. So I hear 34 years old, but I don't really think about it as, oh, he's an old guy now, because in this day and age, your career can be extended as long as you really put forth the effort to take care of your body. But I do understand he's gotten beat up over the years. He's taken a lot of heavy hits and, he's made a lot of great plays, but he's taken a beating. He sacrificed his body a lot for this team. Here's what I really think it's what's going on with Julian Edelman. Like, he's getting older. I understand that. But I think the fact that he's not playing with his boy anymore took a toll on him that we don't see. And when I say that, I mean, there's a part of me that somewhat feels kind of similar to the way a lot of people felt after the news of Tom Brady leaving New England. Yes, they went on to get Cam Newton, but after Tom Brady left, that time period, you know what most people thought? It's over for the Patriots. It's over for them. Like, this is not going to be a Super Bowl contending team. They're about to suck. They're going through a rebuilding phase. And there's probably some people that still think that, yes, don't get me wrong, Cam Newton is playing some great football to start the season. Do people immediately put the Patriots back on the pedestal that they once were as like automatic Super Bowl champ? They're probably not winning the AFC East with Cam Newton. It doesn't even matter. But do people have him back on that Super Bowl automatic AFC championship game appearance? I don't really think so. Not yet, at least. But I feel like in some way, shape, and form, Julian Edelman, once things kind of ended with Tom Brady and broke down and he left, I think part of him, a little bit of his work ethic, his grind, I think that took a toll with it too.
I think a lot of it has to do with his age, though, too.
I think that definitely plays a part into it big time because, like I said, he's taken a beating through the years and he's an older wide receiver when everybody else on that team at wide receiver is like mid-20s, early 20s. He's the oldest guy there for sure. But I also feel like some of his work ethic and grind mode and all that took a little bit of a hit over the course of the offseason too, with a lot of things changing and the Patriots kind of going into a rebuilding phase as well.
Right, and all of his buddies are gone. Gronk's gone, Danny's gone, Tom's gone. It's just Jules. It's just Jules left. we saw a lot of his age against the Seahawks specifically in week 2 because that was his career night when it came to yardage. 8 receptions, 179 yards. And you remember those shots, those camera shots where they would show Jules walking. He looked gassed. He looked tired. He looked like a guy who has been through the ringer. He looked like a guy who was just for years just caught balls over the middle and just gotten absolutely smoked by a 290-pound middle linebacker. So the problem is, if you're going to actually rely on your passing game, and granted, I think the weapons, I think like Byrd, for example, has been a lot better than I think a lot of people anticipated. Mm-hmm. He was anticipated to be solid, but I think he's actually really becoming a solid weapon for this team. But Jules if there's going to be any semblance of a successful passing game, I think Jules has to be reliable. And I still think he is reliable. Don't get me wrong. But I think he has to be. It's a necessity. Because if not, then your top weapon is Byrd and N'Keal Harry, right?
They're gonna need Julian Edelman because there's gonna be situations, some clutch, game-winning, situations where McDaniels and Belichick, they're gonna really look to Edelman like, look, you're our guy that we trust, that we believe can make these plays happen. Like, they definitely don't have that trust in Byrd and N'Keal Harry and Gunner and Jacoby Myers. The trust isn't really there. Only real people they maybe trust completely on this team in a pecking order, in a sense, is like Edelman, James White, maybe Burkhead. Like, they need Edelman to be somewhat close to what they've been used to receiving from him over the last couple of years. But I do think his time is winding down, and I would not be shocked if at the end of this season, Patriots say thanks for your time, Julian Edelman, but we're moving on. He's gonna be 35 years old. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think he's going to want to move on too. I just don't know if, just going back to what you started this with, really, I don't think he's having fun anymore. I think it's becoming a chore for him. And again, with all of his buddies gone, it's just becoming football's just becoming a chore. And with his age, with all these drops, he's slowly becoming more of a liability. Mm-hmm. He is. And it's just something you got to accept, because last night, if that game was close and we saw a Jules pick six the way that happened, if the Patriots were actually in the game at that point, imagine the way people would be ripping him after that game and today. Just imagine it. In the end, it didn't really matter because the game wasn't close by that point. But I think it kind of was close. But I don't think we expected them to win at that point. But regardless, he's becoming a liability. He's still reliable, but it's slowly creeping towards that. You might not want to throw it there in a crucial moment at this point. All right. That's it. CLNS Media, Patriots Roundtable. Nick Qualia, Mike Molyneux. Guys, we're going to be back next week. They play the Broncos next week, so you got to hope that they're going to win that game at least. I hope Cam's back. I really do.
If things go well and he doesn't show any symptoms and they test him, he could be possibly back at practice on Thursday, which could put him on target to play on Sunday.
Right. And honestly, if it was a false positive, that's going to be a bummer.
I wouldn't be shocked. At this time that we're living in, I wouldn't be shocked too. But
right, you got to take every precaution that you can.
True.
Nick Qualia and Mike Molyneux. Guys, follow us on Twitter. Garrett's got us right now, hopefully with our Twitter handles below us. You guys can catch the show on iTunes too in the full audio podcast version. Nick Qualia and Mike Molyneux. Guys, we're going to be back next week. Thanks for watching.